Let's talk today about 7 benefits of a standing desk. I want you to look at the furniture you're sitting in right now, probably a typical desk chair. It looks innocent, doesn't it? It has wheels, it spins, maybe it's kind of comfortable, has a little lever that makes it go up and down. My kids love playing with those on my desk chairs. But your desk chair, in many ways, is actually a trap. Hear me out. It's an energy vampire, it's a back pain generator. And honestly, it's probably making you feel about 10 years older than you actually are. We spend our lives sitting. We sit in the car to drop the kids off. We sit at work. We sit at dinner. Maybe we sit in a really comfortable sofa to watch Netflix. And sitting just becomes kind of our norm. Like the majority of our day, we're sitting, and then we wonder why our lower backs are screaming and why we crash at 2:30 p.m. every single day. What if I told you there was a way to fix your back, to burn calories, to get your energy back without joining a gym or drinking a 5th cup of coffee today? And it's the standing desk. I've experienced a big difference in my own life by switching to a standing desk. I'm Dr. Nathan Crockett. Today I'm giving you 7 reasons why ditching the chair might be the best parenting hack that you've never tried. And you think, what's that have to do with parenting? We're getting there. So first benefit, you could call it unkinking the hose, posture and pain. It unkinks the garden hose. Think of your body like a garden hose. Water, blood and oxygen need to flow through it to keep your brain working. When you sit down, what happens? You fold at the waist, you slump your shoulders, you crane your neck forward to look at the screen. At least that's what I do. You're putting a giant kink in the hose that creates what we call the tech neck, the tight hip flexors. If you've ever stood up after a long Zoom meeting and felt like you had to unfold yourself like a rusty lawn chair, that's the kink that I'm talking about. When you stand, you elongate your spine. You open up the hips. You let the water flow, the blood flow in your body, right? Within 1 week of using a standing desk, most people report their lower back pain drops significantly. You aren't bad at aging, you're just folded in half way too often. The second benefit, the 2 p.m. slump buster, energy, right? So reason number 2 is for every parent who hits a wall after lunch. This is the ultimate slump buster. You know the feeling. You eat a sandwich, you sit back down, and suddenly your eyelids feel like they weigh 50 pounds. Your brain turns to mush or to fog. What do? You often reach for sugar or caffeine. But here's the biology. When you sit, your body is going into idling mode. Your heart rate drops, your circulation slows way down. Your brain thinks, oh, we aren't moving, it must be nap time. But when you stand, your heart beats about 10 beats faster per minute. It has to work against gravity to pump blood up to your brain. That constant flow of oxygen keeps you alert. It's like a mild shot of espresso, but without the jitters and without the crash. If you want to stop feeling like a zombie when your kids get home from school, try a standing desk. Just in general, try to be standing more rather than sitting so much of the day. Benefit number 3, the free gym membership or the calorie burn, right? Having a standing desk is like a free workout. Now, I'm not saying that a standing desk is the same thing as running a marathon or you never have to go to the gym again. You're not going to get ripped just by typing emails, but the math is in your favor. When you stand, you're engaging your leg muscles, your glutes, your core, just to stay upright. This is called NEAT, capital N-E-A-T, non-exercise activity thermogenesis. On average, you burn about 50 more calories per hour standing than sitting. That doesn't sound like much, right? But let's do the parent math. If you stand for just 3 hours a day, that's 150 calories. Over a work week, that's 750 calories. Over a year, that's roughly 30,000 extra calories that you burnt, which is the equivalent of running about 10 marathons a year just by answering emails on your feet instead of from a sitting position. It's the easiest weight management tool that you have. Benefit 4 is avoiding the silent killer blood sugar. Reason number 4 is a bit more serious, but you need to hear me out, right? It helps regulate your blood sugar. When you ate lunch and then immediately sit down for 4 hours, your blood sugar spikes and stays high. Why? Because your muscles are turned off. They aren't soaking up that glucose for energy. This is a huge risk factor for type 2 diabetes and heart disease, but studies show that if you stand up after eating, your blood sugar spike is significantly lower. Why? Because your large muscle groups, your legs, your back, are turned on. They act like a sponge. They're soaking up the sugar from your lunch and they're using it for fuel. By standing up, you are literally protecting your heart. And many of you watching this, Christian leaders, are also parents. Your long-term health is perhaps one of the greatest gifts that you can give to your kids. Benefit 5, the boss mode effect. And I'm talking here about confidence, right? It's psychological. Standing up more often puts you in boss mode. There's a famous TED talk about power posing. The idea is that when you take up space, you feel more confident. When you curl up in a ball, like a sitting position, you feel smaller and weaker and less confident. You ever had to make a tough phone call? Maybe you had to argue with an insurance company or negotiate a bill or call the school principal. Don't try doing that sitting down. When you stand, you protect your voice better, you feel more authoritative, you feel ready for action. Using a standing desk can actually make you feel more confident in your work. You're not just receiving the day passively sitting down, you're meeting the day standing up on your feet. And it really makes quite a big difference. It might be shocking to you, but give it a try. The sixth benefit is focus and efficiency, or you could say it this way, urgency. Here's a secret. Comfy chairs are great for watching movies. They're terrible for working fast. When you're too comfortable, you tend to scroll. You check Facebook or Instagram or whatever your favorite social media is. You tend to zone out. When you're standing, you're naturally more task-oriented. Your body is saying, okay, let's get this done so we can move to something else. Many people find that tasks that used to take them 45 minutes sitting down only take about 30 minutes if they're standing up. If you want to finish your work faster, so you actually get to hang out with your family and friends, go ahead and stand up. Get on your feet, get a standing desk. Benefit 7, the ripple effect. So, this is we're finally at number 7. Your kids are watching. If your kids see mom and dad glued to a chair for 10 hours a day, complaining about their back and looking tired, that becomes their normal. But if they see you moving, stretching, staying active while you work, that sets a standard for them. You don't need to buy a $1,000 or $5,000 motorized desk. Put a cardboard box on your kitchen counter. Stack some books on your dining room table. Just try it for 20 minutes. Stand up for your health so you can stand up for your family. Again, this doesn't have to be something expensive. Literally, just try it putting your notebook computer on a stack of books nearby, if that's the easiest thing for you. Give it a try. I was shocked when I started standing more often to do my work. I was amazed at how many of these things really made a huge difference for me. I hope this video has been helpful. If so, maybe give it a thumbs up, share it with a friend, subscribe to the channel. Thanks so much and have a wonderful, wonderful day walking with Jesus.